Welcome to this edition of the Leaf Summit Rundown. I'm Laura Ingeman. Winter is quickly approaching. For those of us who have sprinkler systems, it's time to winterize. If you're handy and want to do it yourself, here's the basics.
We live in a very cold area in the winter, and the freeze line's about 48 inches underground, so anything above that 48 inches is at risk of freezing. If you have PVC lines, those can crack, they can splinter. Water, when it freezes, it expands and it will break the pipes and it will cause damage to your system. It will cause leaks. You could lose water. It's just a natural practice in a cold climate to protect the investment you've made. So right here we have the backflow assembly. It is the backflow prevention device that prevents the irrigation water from entering in and contaminating the city water or the clean source. This is required on all irrigation systems. It just helps protect the water source from anything that might happen, fertilizers or chemical infiltration into your system. The first thing that we want to do is make sure that we have the water turned off. Sometimes if the water tap is in your basement, you can go down and see a ball valve right above your actual main water shutoff. That would help control the water. Once we have ensured that the water is turned off, you want to incorporate air into the system. You can do that outside. Typically there will be a blowout port next to your main water turn on for it, or after the backflow preventer. You want to push about the same pressure you're pushing through with water. Too high pressure, you'll blow fittings. Too low pressure, you won't clean it out entirely. So after we've got the air compressor hooked up to our system and we are incorporating air into the lines, we want to go to our sprinkler controller. Typically it'll be in the garage or on the side of the house. To find out how many zones you have is to look in here at the wires. We only have 6 zones that need to be blown out. And so if you don't know much about your system, you can always look at how many wires are going in here and just go by the numbers of zones. And you just want to activate the system to run through each zone independently. So start with the first zone, zone number 1. Sometimes it'll be in the front yard, sometimes it'll be on the side yard. But you want to look for the heads popping up. You want to look for water coming out. Even though we have the water turned off to the system, the point is to get the water out. So push out the water as long as you can. Typically 5 minutes will clean out the system. You may see some fog or mist coming out of the heads. That's fine. The goal is just to get a majority of the water out of the system. Then all of your irrigation, all of the water is blown out of the lines. The main line is clean. You have no more water in the line. Before you turn off the last zone, it is ideal to unhook your air compressor because you don't want to slam shut air into your main line. That could hurt your pipes. It could hurt fittings. You just want it to depressurize. You've unhooked your compressor after you've blown out all of the water in your lines. What you want to do is find your backflow preventer. It will be either in your basement in line with the pipe, or it will be in your front yard next to your water meter. Turn the ball valves on the backflow preventer to 45 degrees, as well as the test ports on the top of the backflow preventer to 45 degrees. That allows air to infiltrate the system, and it helps with expanding and contraction with atmospheric changes. Once you do that, you're pretty much ready to go. You are ready for winter and you shouldn't have anything else to worry about.
If you're not the DIY type, there's a lot of companies who can winterize your sprinkler system for you. Head over to the Water Utilities page on the city's website at cityofls.net. If you have problems with your sewer system, is it your responsibility or the city's? Let's find out.
When you're thinking of it as a homeowner, you're like, what are the things that are going to cost me money to fix? And you think about windows or siding or your roof. People don't think about their sewer lateral. You have a pipe that comes out of your house and runs underground to wherever the city sewer main is. The homeowner is responsible for their building sewer lateral, or their sewer pipe basically, from their house all the way to the connection to the city's sanitary sewer main. That's a standard rule. It's in the city's code of ordinances, whether it's a commercial property, residential property, multifamily property. Those rules all apply to all of those instances. And that could be the most expensive repair that you would have to do to your house, is to repair your sewer lateral. And oftentimes isn't covered by insurance. Unless you've contacted your insurance company and had an additional adder to your policy to cover sewer lateral repairs, or have purchased private insurance, that there are companies that do that would insure just your sewer lateral and then at least a portion of the cost to repair it should you have a problem. I think there's some confusion because the sewer main a lot of times is maybe not located on the same side of the street as the house is. The sewer main may be on the opposite side of the street, and so people don't realize that the portion of their sewer line that runs underneath the road is also their responsibility. So if you're experiencing a sewer backup, I would recommend calling the city. We'll dispatch someone to come out and determine whether the problem is in the city's sewer main or in the customer's sewer lateral, and then we'll advise them that if it's in their line that they need to call a plumber, and if it's in the city's main that it's something that we'll address at that time.
Check out this awesome Lee Summit branded beanie that I got at the Lee Summit Marketplace located right here in City Hall in the lobby. You can also find other cool items at lsmarketplace.net. Thanks for watching this edition of the Lee Summit Rundown. I'm Laura Ingeman.